The moon is a great place for this game. It establishes a whole new set of promises for a Borderlands game.
The place that gave us the most freedom to really do whatever we wanted was somewhere that lied between Borderlands 1 and 2.
Between Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, we have this really interesting story that we've never told. In Borderlands 1, the moon is a solid piece of rock. In Borderlands 2, it's all cracked and damaged.
Something kind of changed up there. When people play Borderlands 2, there's a Hyperion space station and there's lava cracks all over the moon.
The Australia guys really wanted to explore that. And we thought, yeah, we want to explore that too. And also, all our fans wanted to go to the moon.
So we basically decided to play around with what you can and can't do in a Borderlands game and sort of push the envelope of like, what if you could go to the moon and have freeze guns and have laser guns and have all this crazy stuff. These things that we've never tried in a Borderlands game before, would that still feel cool and would it still feel like a Borderlands game? And the pre-sequel was an attempt to sort of take some risks and answer some of those questions, and hopefully we've succeeded.
Yeah, because I did notice in my testing as well that if you like blood rushed up at a guy with a jetpack or something and you missed because he moved out of the way, you can get some serious height, which is very fun, but maybe the art guys will kill us if we let play.
Even before we started working on Borderlands, as we saw message boards and everything, like people wanted to go to the moon. That was our very first goal in this game. It opened this massive wealth of opportunities of us to kind of change up the gameplay.
It's the same Borderlands gameplay they really, really like, with some new twists that actually change the game more than you would think.
Yeah, you can jump really high, you can use the oxygen for jetpacks, you can use laser weapons for the first time in a Borderlands game. And those are the really fun things that you could only do on the moon.
You should do some sort of weird Easter egg if you hop in through there.
Oh yeah, if you could like make it up here and like jump around from piece to piece and somehow avoid all the lava explosions.
Yeah, it could be pretty sweet.
It's actually Claptrap, he's hiding back there.
Right.
The low gravity feels completely different. It adds this completely new dimension to the gameplay and it changes up the combat spaces. It's giving our level designers this freedom to kind of go crazy from their imagination.
We didn't want to just kind of have like, you know, floaty jumps and then have people like stuck in the air for ages and things like that. And we did like a playground early on to try and work out how we could make gravity a really interesting and fun dynamic, and looking at creating levels with a lot of verticality and a lot of platforms that were high up. And after our initial kind of experiments, we just kind of settled on something which actually turned out to be really fun. We solved the problem of being floating in the air for ages by having this kind of slam kind of ability.
My thoughts on Butt Stomp is that Butt Stomp is hilariously fun.
The butt slam is just a wonderful piece of gameplay.
It's just called a slam, technically, but I have to call it a butt slam. It's just too much fun to say that.
Was it butt slam or was it butt stomp?
It's all the above.
It's interchangeable.
There's nothing like being in the air and being able to just drop down on somebody and stagger them and do a couple shots and headshots and suddenly they go down, and it's just a blast.
Send our meanest, greasiest man to grind a Vault Hunter to meaty dust. Was already on it.
The cryo weapons have been a really fun one for us to implement.
One of our programmers really early on was really keen on creating some kind of ice-shattering kind of tech.
We actually have this really cool system that will freeze enemies. So initially when you start shooting them, they'll start to slow down, they'll start turning a little bit blue, but then you can actually freeze them solid. And if they're frozen solid and you get their health low enough, you can actually shatter them. You can either run into them and melee them, they'll shatter into these beautiful ice shards floating off. But also one of my favorite things to do is freeze someone from above, then slam down and shatter them.
And we'll also work with like laser weapons, where if you have a laser and you slice through a guy that's made of ice, it'll actually fall apart into two pieces. So that kind of combined with the low gravity and other things, it's really changing the way that you play Borderlands, and I think players are going to really like it.
They're really going to enjoy it, and the payoff is going to be huge for them.
Well, you become one of the Vault Hunters, one of the heroes that's sort of working with Handsome Jack during his rise to power.
Everybody loved Nisha. She was this character that we all regret killing off. Spoiler.
She's worse than Handsome Jack in many ways. Like, she just enjoys strangling puppies.
Claptrap's a little bit of a little bit incompetent. He's a little bit of unpredictable.
His action skill is lunacy.
Oh, cool, Athena. She was this badass warrior type. What if we played as her?
So it's a really interesting timeline, and it's really fun, and it's really eye-opening.
You coming?